The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
Hey, this is Rev from the Drowns, and if you still believe in rock and roll, then keep the dial set here at the Struggling Artist Podcast.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
To the Struggling Artist Record Club recap. It has been a minute. We've had some developments in the months from the last time we did this. Lots of changes. I got a new job. That was the biggest one.
The leaves changed. The weather changed.
Yeah, the weather's changed. The leaves have changed. With me tonight, as always in the past, Chris Chavez of 716 The Sound.
Wait, Chris Chavez in the past?
Of the past. From Weird. The past. I don't know.
Back to the future.
All right. Enough of this. I'm already done with all three of you. All right. And tonight, I guess we can't say our special guests, but our special hosts. I don't know if I should say last names. Can I say last names?
Sure.
All right, we have Ryan Cowell. Did I say that right?
Sure.
Of from the Record Club and the one and only Dave Anderson from
Dave's not here.
Member Dave and member Ryan will be taking over the Struggling Artist Record Club recap after this episode. I'm excited to pass the torch. I think Chris is too. This is going to be able to free me up for some things, and I thought it would be fun. To have these guys. I mean, Dave, you wrote a review just about every month, and Ryan, you wrote quite a few. So I thought it would be cool to pair you guys up and let you take the reins. And Chris wanted to be here for the. Is this what do we call this?
Handoff.
There we go.
The passing of the torch. Passing of the baton.
Yep. So, welcome, gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Welcome.
Doing good. Excited. Doing great. Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, let's hopefully next month you guys show a little more enthusiasm when we do that. Now, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, the whole point of this was like, right? So, the whole point of this podcast, like the whole podcast and then getting the record club was like just building this community and like, why not let other people? Why do you want to hear from me? I'm the one sending the record. Like, you know what I mean? I'm biased, but we'll get a couple members that have been in this thing for a while and we'll go from there. But before we get started, just, I don't know. We'll start with Dave. Dave, let us know about yourself. Like, I know you've been in this record club since Mark had it, I believe. And just give us a brief little rundown of your punk rock ethos and your love for lyric sheets, because I'm sure every episode moving forward will have some comment about them, whether they're there or not. So,
well, if you provide them, I won't need to comment on them. So it's pretty simple. If you don't want to hear me talk about them, then just include them. It's not difficult. 47, I think 48, 46. I don't know. I don't really care how old society says I am. Doesn't matter to me. I live in Philadelphia with my wife, 7 cats. Work at home so I can listen to records all day, which I do. Usually by the end of the day, there's records all over the place because I get an itch in the middle of work. I'm like, oh, I got to listen to this record or that. I got a lot of records. I don't know, maybe 1,500 or so. And just finishing up my 3rd book. So once that's done, I'm sure I'll be promoting it and mentioning it all the time instead of the actual reviews. I'll just be reading chapters from that. Little did Trev know that I only accepted this position so I could actually just read chapters and promote my 3rd book. But now that the cat's out of the bag, so sorry, Trev, I'm not going to really.
Wait, you've written 2 books?
Yeah, I have. Yes, on Amazon, Pinball Punks and These Dark City Streets. I don't really promote them that much because I don't really care if other people read them. I don't really care if other people read them or not. Anyway.
Hold on. Settle 1 second, all right? Pinball Punks is the name of one.
Yeah.
Pulling it up now.
Which is also your Instagram name.
Right.
And what is the other one?
These Dark City Streets. I have it right here.
Hell yeah, dude.
Why is this the first time I've heard of this, Dave?
I don't really care if other people approve of. People are really critical of books, I find. So I'm sure they don't really like them, but
okay.
I don't really care. So
no, hey, I don't care if people like them or not either. Like, I think that's really cool. I didn't know that about you.
So I'm working hard on finishing. Hopefully in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I'll be done the 3rd book. I already have the cover all done. Just have to have my wife edit it. And then, so that's where I'm spending a lot of my time
This
on
makes
right now.
so much sense with the way you write your reviews, dude.
Yeah, right?
Dude.
Son of a bitch. I mean,
Now you're connecting the dots.
yeah, well, you left out a few. That's why we didn't connect them. Holy shit.
Bill Shakespeare over there.
That's amazing. Dave,
That is awesome.
I should have you on the podcast so we can talk about your books.
Yeah, I just got to finish this 3rd one. I'm proud of. I think it's a lot better than the other 2.
When you finish, when you finish the 3rd one, we'll have you on to promote that and the other 2. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right, cool. Wow, that's awesome. Now, Ryan, what are you gonna pull out and you're gonna be like, "Ha, you didn't know this"?
I can go that book route too.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck are we doing here?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In fairness, I didn't write the book. I was just I had 2 woodworking projects featured in the book, and they were both also on the cover. This was also back in like the late 90s when I was young.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
You still, it's fucking amazing, and you still do fantastic woodwork. I get pictures every once in a while when you whip something up.
Yeah, I haven't really done anything for about 2.5 years since I'm an apartment dweller right now. Introduce myself. My name's Ryan. I just turned 50 on Halloween.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. My outside of listening to records, I work in IT, do woodworking as a very serious hobby. I only have about, I want to say 250 to 300 records right now. I think I'm going to get into about the time I switched from CDs to records when we go through the record.
Nice.
When we discuss the song, because it did bring me back a little PTSD as well. But we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure.
And I've got a few displayed behind me.
Yeah, you've sent me records before.
Yeah,
I
he sent me
this one right here.
some too.
Yeah. Right there. Yeah, it's the same one. Yeah.
The Drowns.
The Drowns. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now you've also been in the record club since Mark had it.
Yeah, I was intermittent when Mark had it, but I was in it for good stretches at a time.
Right.
But I took a couple breaks.
Right.
But yeah, I was listening to the podcast, so I figured I'd give you a shot.
Well, thanks. I hope I haven't disappointed. We'll see with this month's pick that we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
the most adjacent, like the first. This is like it. All right, we'll talk about it, but yeah, we'll get into it. So, well, I didn't know that either one of you were part of books, whether you were written them or you were featured in them. That's amazing. Yeah, now I feel even better about handing this off. Dave, you have how many records? 1,500?
Yeah, I was doing some counting of that. Yeah, I got a lot. I bought like 5 today, so it's getting out of control. But
now, are we talking 5? Are we talking like, are these like between 7 inches and
just full LPs, no bullshit buys like we can go to a flea market and buy them for 50 cents. I would say all killer, no filler, all punk rock, all hardcore. Not like you can fill up your collection with like, I bought like one for like $1. I bought like 200 for $1. No, I don't have any of that. Even the ones my mom gave me last week, like the Beatles and stuff like that, I still won't put it in my collection because it's just not my style. So
that's crazy. Wow. I'm kind of jealous. Not gonna lie. All right. Well, I guess it's time to get into it, right? So let's get into this month's record last month's. Oh, hold on. Should we do the recap of the recap? All right, Dave, you've got a story for the Sammy K record, right? First of all, Sammy K's record, I put out in July, right? And it was the title of the album was what, July 1960, I think.
Yep.
All right, there we are. All right. I lost you guys. We're gonna there we go. All right, cool. I mean, Sammy K, he's been on the podcast a billion times. His band The Kilograms featured in the record club earlier this summer. I can't say enough good things about this guy as a songwriter, as a musician, as a human being. So it just made sense, especially like he didn't get to promote this record a whole lot because the Kilograms had so much movement in the same year. So I was really excited to be able to do this for him and get these out there to him. So with that said, do we let Dave go first?
Sure.
Dave is here, man. Chris. It used to be Dave's not here, man.
Yeah, dude.
But, yeah.
But Dave is here, dude.
Dave is here. So Dave, kick it off. Let's hear your review.
All right. Oh my God. I'm just looking at it now. I haven't looked at it in a while. It's really long. So if anyone needs to go to the bathroom or get some water.
I might.
Anyway.
I might. Hold on.
All right.
All right. Go ahead. I had a sigh for you.
Okay. Here we go. When Sammy first heard Tom Waits at the age of 8, he became fascinated by his voice. He didn't really understand why he loved the voice. Maybe because no one else sounded like him, or maybe because he just didn't like ordinary singers. He didn't overthink it. He just loved it. While his friends were obsessed with Nirvana or Nine Inch Nails, Sammy was listening to Tom Waits. Deep down, he knew he wanted to be a singer like him. Or is it Tom Watts? Waits? I don't know. While other kids played sports and chased girls, Sammy
Wait. Hold on. Sorry. This is a work of fiction. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody. All right. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Sure.
Do we actually know that, though?
While other kids played sports and chased girls, Sammy spent time in his parents' basement singing. There was a forest a few minutes away that he visited every day after school where he pretended the birds and squirrels were his audience. At his school talent shows, he would shuffle onto the stage like a cat forced into a bath and sing his heart out. Nervously, of course, because nothing says future rock star like trembling vocal cords. Somehow he managed to strong-arm his parents into dragging him to open mic nights at bars and breweries, places where he looked about as comfortable as a vegan at a Texas barbecue. The local drunks found him endlessly entertaining for all the wrong reasons, laughing and heckling him with the enthusiasm of a pack of hyenas at feeding time. His parents, bless their misguided sense of loyalty, would leap into brawls defending his honor. Picture this, his mom grabbing his acoustic guitar and delivering a skull-shattering blow to some poor drunk, blood spurting out like a twisted Jackson Pollock painting, and then chuckling like it was all part of the show. Sammy, ever the artist, would later mine these chaotic nights for lyrical gold. Because honestly, who could forget the heartwarming sight of your mom chasing a burly stranger with a guitar shrieking, "You're gonna die tonight." It's the kind of memory that sticks with you, whether you want it to or not. Sammy sang at family holiday parties and took extra long showers just to sing. But there was one big problem. He was a terrible singer. People made awful faces when he sang. His parents bought him singing lessons for Christmas, but he refused, saying, "You learn to sing in alleyways and speakeasies, not in a store with a teacher." His parents told him, but Sammy, you're only 9 years old. It's perfectly normal to work with a singing coach. But no speakeasy would ever allow him to perform. His voice was high-pitched and nasally. When he sang, people cringed and turned away. Feeling defeated as his dream turned into a nightmare, he began stealing his parents' cigarettes and drinking their beer at the age of 18. A year later, wandering the city with a bottle from his dad's liquor cabinet and a pack of cigarettes, he decided to sing again. People stopped and marveled at his deep, rough voice. He woke up the next day with little memory of the night before, but he remembered that people liked what they heard. Sitting in his room, hungover, he tried to figure out why people suddenly liked his singing. In the past, they'd thrown trash at him. Now they praised him. Finally, he concluded it must be the cigarettes and booze. They were changing his vocal cords. He quickly bought a carton of cigarettes and stole more whiskey from his dad. A week later, he felt awful because he was constantly too hungover to sing. So he cut back on the booze and focused on the smoking. He found a local smoke shop and spent $500 on tobacco and smoking devices. He started smoking pipes and hookahs all day, every day. His lungs burned. But instead of being scared, he welcomed the pain like an old friend. Every cough and phlegm meant his voice was getting raspier and thicker like his hero Tom Waits. Tom Waits hadn't started out with that voice either. Listen to his early albums versus later ones. Sammy felt he was on the right path. He began singing everywhere and people loved it. When he performed, he had a smoke machine blowing tobacco into his face. The audience loved how all they saw on stage was a big cloud of smoke, and from that cloud of smoke came a guitar and the best voice. His fans started smoking aggressively too. On the streets, if you saw people walking around with 3 or 4 cigarettes in their mouth at the same time, you knew they were Sammy K fans. When people started spending their rent money on tobacco, you knew they were listening to Sammy K. When people had gross brown-stained teeth, you knew they were Sammy K fans. When people talked and sounded like a lawnmower battling another lawnmower, you knew they were Sammy K fans. When he woke in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, he'd light a cigarette and follow it with a hit from his hookah. His lungs never got a break. It was a relentless punishment for them. They were the enemy that needed to be taught a lesson. After a year of this abuse, he was climbing stairs one afternoon with his mom, and she noticed he was severely winded. Panicked, she scheduled a doctor's appointment for the next day. The doctor said he had the lungs of a 60-year-old man. Sammy smiled like a sadistic, twisted clown when he heard this. The doctor was puzzled, but knew some people take bad news differently. But for Sammy, this wasn't bad news. He had achieved his goal. He finally sounded like his hero, Tom Waits. He waged war on his lungs and was victorious. Since winning the war against his lungs, he promised his mom and doctor he would get healthy by quitting smoking and exercising. He changed his diet too. He ate nothing fried and focused on lean meats with lots of vegetables, fruits, and nuts. He was a little worried his voice might lose that thick, bubbly sound in the back of one's throat. He told the doctor, "I need my voice to sound gravelly, rough, and unsettling. When I sing, I want people to think I'm barking melodies at them like a thirsty dog." The doctor reassured him he would keep his raspy, creaky, distorted old man voice. Sammy was so happy to hear that he made a pact with himself to stay healthy and avoid lung cancer. Every record label wanted to sign him. He went with Sell the Heart Records, signing a 5-year deal worth $1 million. Every night before bed, instead of thanking God, he thanked the tobacco plant. Okay, now for my actual review.
That was awesome.
I love when punk rockers do solo albums like this. Two of my favorite artists are Tim Barry of Avail and Chuck Reagan of Hot Water Music. They've released dozens of solo albums that I absolutely love, and I own every song on vinyl. Whenever punks make this style of music, I embrace it fully and get very excited. Last week, I picked up Ben Nichols of Lucerio's solo album on vinyl. Todd Beam from Chuck Reagan's crew worked on that record, so I knew it would be amazing, and it is. This community is growing, and people know who to have in their bands to make this style amazing. So when you see Todd Beam on a solo album, you know it's legit. Since I consider myself a professional in this genre, I'm going to compare Sammy K's July 1960 album to other acts. First, the voice. I prefer the gruff, guttural growl of Chuck Reagan in this style. So when I first heard Sammy and how he even surpassed Chuck Reagan's bourbon-soaked vocals, I was very impressed. Next, having a female singer on one of your songs. All the albums I love in this genre have a female singer on one or more of the songs. I didn't detect any female singers on Sammy's album. Next is lots of piano. I love piano in this genre, and Sammy has plenty of that. Next is having catchy choruses that make you want to sing along, and that's where Sammy falls a little short. But let's not get carried away. Sammy still makes the song sound amazing, even without the big catchy choruses. This is all due to his voice sounding like you're eating a bucket of nails while having flashbacks and memories of the good and bad times and being able to tie them all together to give you goosebumps like R.L. Stine novels. Next is variety. Having songs with different instruments, singers, and arrangements is important. That's my biggest complaint about this album. Every song sounds somewhat similar. There does seem to be a hidden track at the end of the album, and I feel this hidden track would be perfect in the middle of the album since it has a lot of different sounds and sounds a lot different from the other songs. On some Tim Barry albums, he has distorted New Orleans brass in the middle, which breaks things up nicely. Sammy has that too, but it's that hidden song. So like I said, I would have liked to see that song with some female vocals in the middle of the album to break things up. Lyrics are next. In this style of music, lyric sheets aren't necessary since you can usually hear the vocals, but most albums include them anyway. With Sammy, I really wanted a lyric sheet. I looked up each song online trying to find lyrics, hoping to find them somewhere. Lyrics are important here because Sammy's voice sounds like a rusty old troubadour leaving a bar at 2 a.m. after yelling at the bartender for one last shot of whiskey. And then add the fact that there aren't many choruses to sing along to, meaning you really need to understand what the singer is singing about. And with this vocal style, it's hard. So I was disappointed with the lack of lyrics. Finally, the cover art and vinyl cover. His cover art fits really well with this style and is similar to others in the genre. In the end, I enjoyed the album, but towards the last few songs, everything sounded the same, and without lyrics to help differentiate the songs, I found the last few tracks hard to really appreciate when listening to the vinyl from start to finish. And that's my review.
Very nice. I do agree with a lot of what you said in terms of it's great. The vocals are great. It's right in the pocket there. But then after a little bit, it's like, well, wait, did I just hear this song? Or there was one point I remember where I was listening and the song was playing and I don't know what I was doing. I was working on something and then I had to stop and go, did the song change yet? Like, did it change? I couldn't tell because it did kind of sound the same, not that it was bad, but it was, it's got a vibe and it just stays right on that vibe the entire time.
Yep.
Right on. Ryan?
I'm going to have to admit here that I'm a little bit unprepared for Sammy K's record.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Because I got his record at the Kilogram show when I saw them. So I listened to it a long time ago and just haven't revisited it recently.
Right on. Right on.
So
That's all right. That's all right.
but the show was great.
Yeah. 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 Cool. Cool. I just want to say, Andy from Sell the Heart Records, he gets a bunch of people hitting him up for $1 million contracts. He's coming for you. Steve. He's coming for you. That was a work of fiction. We just want to keep that out there. So real quick. Cool, man. That was all right. So that was back in July of 2025. August of 2025. You didn't do a full review for all these, right?
No, I didn't really do much reviews for Little Low or Girth Control, just a few sentences.
Cool. All right, well, let's see. Yeah, so the boys in Girth Control were my August pick, and basically I picked them for August because, like, what better way than to end the summer than with the guys who party all the time, right? And not only do they party, like they sing about partying, they sing about having to grow up too, and I liked that, right? These guys have been on the show. I love them to death. They're great humans. And so that was why I picked that one for August. So if you guys remember it, let's go around real quick and kind of talk about it.
Yeah, fun album. I enjoy. I like Girth Control, seeing them live. Like you said, good group of dudes and a lot of fun. And I mean, if you're going to listen to ska, you got to be in the mood to have fun. That's what it is, right? So it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun, energetic, humorous, catchy ska punk. Everything in life these days is serious and dark, so it's nice to have something just lighthearted. And I really only complained was I thought maybe 25 songs was a little much. But
I love these guys.
It's not a bad complaint to have.
They got like
too many songs.
Song. They got like a 14-minute song too. That's out. That's on their other record. I love it.
Yeah, I think I saw that they put out an EP or something that had one of their songs with the long version. Yeah.
Right on. All right. So that was that. September, we kicked off fall just in time for a little bit of emo with the Boston band Little Low. Again, another great band. People that I've met. I got to see them at Pooza. It's pretty funny that the first time I got to see them was in Canada. Considering, they're how close they are to me. But that's what it was. Christine is great. And it was awesome to be able to do this one too, because this was one that had just come out like a couple months before. It came out and Sell the Heart Records. We'll check on the contract, Dave. But yeah. So I mean, and you know what? Like we get a lot of Sell the Heart that comes through, So it kind of made sense, Plus, like their vibe was very much like summer's over. What do we do now, kind of thing. So, So what'd you guys think?
Cool. Again, another good time record. If you're going for emo, you're going for that kind of post-punk emo. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Very much enjoyable. Finishing out the summer with some fun.
Yeah, I remember listening to it a lot for 2 weeks, like just every night doing house stuff while I was working, listening to it. I guess first because I thought the vocals and music sound so great. Really, those vocals, just the amazing vocals. They sound just really awesome. And then second, unfortunately, back to the lyrics. Since there was no lyrics, I was constantly trying to pick up the choruses and verses. So, I mean, a few times I was taking my portable speaker and putting it right up to my ear, just trying to like hear what the chorus, I'm with that kind of music, I want to like sing along to the chorus,
Yeah.
And or else it just kind of sounds like, every song kind of blends together. But if I could differentiate with the choruses. So again, if they would have included lyrics, I think that would have helped me a lot. But still, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Ryan?
I guess when this record came, I wasn't listening to a lot of music.
Okay.
I'm just in this phase where I'm just not setting time aside for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think I listened to side A, and then that was it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you, I mean, I think you listened to the podcast. So, like,
Oh yeah,
not this turntable, but the last, which would be right around this time, I was saying the same thing. There was just so much shit going on in the world. I was busy, and like I just like didn't really feel like listening to new shit. Right? I kind of wanted that comfort sound, and so I totally get it, and it's totally okay. So
I want to start listening to music a lot more.
We better now, because now you're a host of a goddamn music show.
Yeah. Now, because I have a task, I will. I'll make the effort.
So me giving you work, well, not work, but like actually work with no pay. Me giving you work with no pay is helping you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I loaded your website so I could have it handy here, and I noticed you don't have a list of records, and I did that little demo proof of concept for you that we can update the website easily.
Yeah, nice. I do need that. I know. Someone actually emailed me, and they're like, "Hey, are you still operational?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just haven't updated the archive. I'm sorry."
Yeah, so give me another task like updating the website.
All right, I'll give you. I will. We'll do that. So. All right, now we're in here for the I don't know, the juice, the guts. Oh, what?
You never talked about how you felt about the records, Trev.
Oh, I love them all. That's why I sent them. The whole point of me giving this show to you two is so I don't have to do that anymore. No,
we're reviewing the old ones.
Yeah, I'll throw my hat into the artist known as Tim one. So
okay, fine.
To save time, yeah. So all right, let me hit you guys with the readout for October 2025. I will say this. So someone about the other records. Our first complaint came at the heels of Sammy K's record, and the person was just like, "Hey, like, I can appreciate this, but I signed up for this, like this other thing, not this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I told him just hang tight. There's some more stuff coming down the pipeline. Then the next one was. I think they hit me up for Girth Control and Little Low and loved both of them. And then when it was coming time for October, I was like, hey, you're probably not going to like this. Let me extend you out a month. And you can skip this month, or I can send it to you and you can yell at me again, So they chose to get extended, which I don't really have a problem with. Like, I don't mind. Like if someone was like, hey, I don't like I don't know, a specific sound, or I want this other sound, like I'll say, okay, I'll hold off and I'll extend you out, and you just won't get one that month, So I used to be able to do alternatives. It's not really in the position to be able to do that at the moment. So that's where we're at, So I can just extend some money and get it the next time around. So with that said, here is the readout for October 2025, which was the artist known as Tim's. I guess it's like it was his LP. I forgot the name of it. Holy shit! What is the name of Tim's album? Bitter as Hell. Jesus Christ! Yeah. So Bitter as Hell was 3 EPs, and then he put them together to make the LP and released it on vinyl. So I might actually have a 10-inch of one or two of these on it. That was like a short run that they did prior. So all right, this is from October. Friends, it's Halloweener time, and I know what you're thinking. Is Trev tricking us? I assure you all, this is a treat, not a trick. I know I play fast and loose with the punk adjacent stuff, and this one definitely takes it. With that said, this dude is more punk rock than half the bands out there running around claiming to be punk. The artist known as Tim, also known as Cat, has some of the rawest and most emotionally driven lyrics. Not to mention, he's one of the best songwriters I've ever witnessed and performers. This guy played my house last year on a punk bill. This past summer, he formed a punk band to play at this huge punk rock wedding that I went to. Let's see. I am honored to be able to send his record to each and every one of you. If you've been in the club for a minute, you know the name because he did a tune or two with Doping the Void on their sophomore release, Ugenhauer. This record, Bitter as Hell, was originally released as 3 EPs. I think this will be the furthest stretch on the adjacent line I walk. So if it's not what you signed up for, please hold tight. We will finish the year hard. All right. That's the record. That's what we're talking about today. Now, what do we have here? Do you guys, who wants to go first?
I'll kick it off before we hand off the batons here.
All right. I guess I'll give my 2 cents too, and then we'll let them pull out.
The artist known as Tim. So the artist known as Tim, dude, goes back a long way with you and I, Trev. This goes back to our Bandcamp roundtables when it was called the Bandcamp Roundtable, which I think was even just a spinoff of that one time at Bandcamp Roundtable thing we were doing for a minute too. But yeah, you brought the artist known as Tim a long time ago. I think it was the very first EP. And I remember just being blown away, enjoying, because I love, that kind of Americana, almost has like tinges of bluegrass, not super country, but it's got, you can hear the Appalachia in his voice for sure. When we heard the second one, loved it. Right. So the third one, same. And so to have it on vinyl now and to be able to actually listen to it on vinyl and have that, that fuller, richer sound that vinyl brings, his music is perfect for vinyl. And yeah, dude, what you say about Tim being a good, he is legit a good dude. I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of months ago at said punk rock wedding and seeing him perform, which was awesome. And not only is he a really good dude, but the dude legit does have that punk rock ethos. And his other band, that little 3-piece band, that's legit punk rock. That's not even Americana Appalachia. That was just straight punk rock. And it was awesome. So seeing him unwind that way too. Man, I loved him, man. And congrats on the release of his music on vinyl. And anybody that didn't get a chance to get it in the record club and are listening to this, go purchase his music on Bandcamp. Purchase the vinyl. Is there any more vinyl for you to purchase? Can you go on his website and get it? Or
I think you got to go to Cat Zulu Productions.
There you go. There you go.
Paul Neal's record label. Yeah,
exactly. So go get it because I love it, dude. I absolutely love his music.
Also, not for nothing, Paul Neal's an old punk rocker.
And he's badass too, dude. Come on now.
Ancient. I hope he's listening. You are so old. You started punk, and for him to put this out on his punk label, then that means something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I love you, Paul. By the way, don't. No, I'm just gonna kind of piggyback off of Chris, and then I'll let you two guys do your thing, right? So, this album. It was a no-brainer for me. It really was. It was a no-brainer to put it in there. I was a little nervous because of the feedback I got about the Sammy K record from that member. But I was just look, this is I don't know. Well, I'll let you guys speak for it. But to me, this stuff, it doesn't matter if it sounds like Appalachian folk music or whatever. This dude is punk rock. I know him. I know, you know what I mean? And I know his what is his thought process, and you know what I mean? So, and so I felt honored. And I was you know what? What's his face there? The from a veil that you were just talking about a little earlier.
Tim Barry.
Yeah. Tim Barry's record that came out 2 years ago. I didn't like it. I thought it was too country. And I think this is I think this is less country than that. So, that's just my own thing. Whatever. Tim Barry is a very nice gentleman. I never had a chance to meet him, but I've heard nothing but good things from people I know that know him. But I was just saying that. To me, this was I mean, you could put them in the same category, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, if that's that, this can be that too, you know? So, yeah, man, I really, really dug it. And I've loved everything that Tim's put out. I've listened to him on other people's records. I've listened to him, just talking, like doing other records. Like he had a band, Over Mountain Sound, I think is the name of it. And and that too, like that was like, that was probably a little more folky than this stuff. So maybe that's why I based it off of that. I don't know, but yeah, this was one of my favorites. Like, I've told this story, but I'll tell it. So I don't know if you guys ever knew this or not, but like, so when I heard Tim on Jimmy Minichek's podcast, and I was like, let me check out this guy's music, and I listened to it, and I went to message him right away. Like, I heard the first song, and I went and messaged. This was when I think Bitter as Hell Part 1, maybe Part 2 was out, or maybe it was before that. And then I also heard it on Paul Neal's podcast. So like that's why I reached out. I go to reach out to the guy, and this was back when Chris and I were running the Instagram, and like we left to do it on Red for like 8 months.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah, I felt
right.
so terrible about that. But yeah,
because I was assuming you were gonna look at it. You were assuming I was gonna look at it. We're just both waiting on.
And like I was so bad at, like, I'm not great at social media now, but like I was so bad at that. But like at the time nowadays, like I'm like, hey, if you want to like just circle this, like go to this one channel to get a hold of us, right? Go to the email. Because it's hard to keep track of messages on all these social media apps. Luckily for me, Tim was like, it just rolled off his back, and our friendship started the moment he came on the podcast. So
yeah, great guy, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's that. Now let's let you guys duke it out on who goes next.
Do we want to go with the long story or quick?
It's your show.
Wrap it up with a quick one, or I'll let you go, Dave. So I'm going to bring the room down.
Let's see what we got here. Okay. When Trev mentioned he was a wee bit concerned this release might be pushing the limits of what's considered punk adjacent, it got me thinking about how I live my own life. Let me explain. First, some non-music examples of what I'm talking about. I have a bunch of friends who moved to California and one to Hawaii, obviously for the perfect weather. So my theory is this: when you experience great weather every day and enjoy it constantly, do you eventually become desensitized to it? Seeing the beautiful ocean and perfect weather every day, year after year, do you start to take it for granted? When you have seasons with ever-changing weather patterns, a really nice day feels special. You really enjoy and soak it up because those days are rare and don't happen every single day like they do in California or Hawaii. When it's 70 and sunny in late October and the leaves are orange, yellow, and red, you're not going to take that for granted because in a few months it's going to be cold and dark for many months in a row versus having warm, nice weather all the time where you most likely will just get used to it and not enjoy it as much. If you ate your favorite food every day or did your favorite activity every day, eventually the excitement would fade. At this point, you might be thinking, what on earth is this guy talking about? Will he just review the damn album already? Well, let me circle back to music finally. One thing I always force myself to do is listen to different genres. I've always been a bit concerned that as I grow older, I might stop listening to punk or only listen to easy listening styles of punk. So one thing I do to prevent that is listen to genres that I don't love quite as much. So far, at 47 years old, it's working. When I return to my favorite genres of skate punk, melodic hardcore, oi, street punk, ska punk, and hardcore punk, I still get excited, and all those albums still make me feel great about being a human on planet Earth. If I only listened to these genres and nothing else, would I still feel that thrill I used to get as being a teenager? Maybe, but probably not. Like anything in life, too much of a good thing and it loses its value. What if life was only positive things and nothing negative? Would we grow and become strong by facing adversity? No, we wouldn't. Life is about yin and yang, good and bad, dark and light. So let's finally circle back to this month's selection from the artist known as Tim and the genre of folk, bluegrass, and Americana. I would assume none of us listen to this type of music all the time. So when we do listen to it, we are removing ourselves from what we normally listen to. Thus, like nice days in winter, we value it more. So to sum it all up, in case you're confused, in case I'm confusing the hell out of you, or you stopped paying attention a while ago, which I don't blame you, by Trev sending a genre that we don't normally listen to or value, let me start that again. I got to get a cat on my lap. Get off. By Trev sending a genre we don't normally listen to, we value our normal genres even more because we are taking a break from them. As I mentioned, Trev was a bit nervous about sending this one because it might not sound punk, but as he said in the printout that he includes with the release, it's still very punk in spirit, which I'll explain later. Now let's dive into the review. Mm-hmm. The first thing that catches your eye is the artwork, stunning and beautiful, reminding me of when Trev sent out Germany's Doping the Void. This would make sense since Tim actually worked on that album. I wish more indie punk artists had righteous covers like these. One of my favorite things about death metal and metal in general is the artwork. Bands like Iron Maiden and Megadeth and tons of other bands have these covers that look really cool. Sadly, many indie punk covers lack that badass factor. Maybe that's never been their goal of theirs, and it's just a goal in my mind. Anyway, on Bandcamp, Tim has 5 other covers that really pop. The back cover continues with amazing artwork. And actually, metal artwork is a bad example since it's a different genre. So I will use Hot Water Music as an example. As a side note, I'm seeing them live in a few days. Anyway, besides being one of my favorite bands, I love their artwork, and it reminds me of Tim's artwork as well. So I guess I just wish more bands would have artwork like Hot Water Music and the artist known as Tim. As for the music, it's fantastic and reminds me of a TV show I like called The Moonshiners. I've always enjoyed that outlaw folk mountain vibe. I tell my wife all the time, I wish I could talk like they do. The accents and the analogies, for example, knee high to a grasshopper, no bigger than a minnow in a fishing pod, pretty as a peach, heavens to Betsy. Well, I declare, I'll tell you what, well, butter my backside and call me a biscuit. I reckon. Too big for his britches. A rooster one day and a feather duster the next. When Trev said Tim was more punk than most, even though he doesn't play traditional punk rock, I knew what he meant. I will compare living rurally Appalachia versus city living. Fishing in a river instead of buying factory farmed fish from a grocery store. Making your own moonshine instead of buying beer or liquor from a store. Growing your own food. Living on a property with acres of land instead of paying $3,000 a month for an apartment in an urban area. Supporting small businesses instead of buying from Amazon since you don't want to lose your good parking spot you have in the city. All these things are more punk than a person living in the city. So the music might not have that punk sound, but it's definitely punk in spirit. More punk than most people, like Trev said. We usually identify punks as living in a city since they can turn buildings into squats, protest and riot. Just about all the music venues are in cities, and I guess just the thought of suburbia being the white picket fence 2.5 children vibe. But really, living in the rural areas should be considered punk as well, since you're relying on as few corporations as possible. As I argued above, people living in rural areas depend less on corporations than those living in urban settings. No lyrics were included or posted on Bandcamp. When I get a new album, I have a rule. I must listen to it twice with 0 distractions. When there's a lyric sheet, I can listen and read along, which works perfectly, like jelly in a donut. Oh, shoot, I'm already talking Southern. Without lyrics, I have to struggle more to figure out verses and choruses. It's not nearly as relaxing, and I don't connect with the music as much as I would if they just included the lyrics. I want to know every verse and chorus, but when lyrics are missing, that's impossible. Luckily, with this style of music, I can mostly hear all the words, but the heavier the music, the less I can really grasp lyrically, and thus the less I connect to the album. So at the very least, please add lyrics to Bandcamp. Now about the music itself. I don't know much about this genre. However, I'm a huge fan of an artist called William Elliott Whitmore, who I would say sounds the most like the artist known as Tim. I have a bunch of William Elliott Whitmore albums. So in that regard, I like all these songs a lot. I'm a big nature nerd, always outside on my bike and walking in trails. So these songs really make me feel like I'm outside instead of being inside on a computer. As for the band name, I like how Takat looks on the cover. Not sure why, it just really works. The artist known as Tim, I don't really like that as much. I think he should just stick to Takat. Sounds Indian or something cool like that. And that's it.
Hell yeah, William Elliott Whitmore's the shit, dude.
Right on, man. Right on. So you liked it?
Yes.
Good. That's good.
Very much.
Okay. First off, Trev also let me know he was afraid people might not be into this one. But I think I reassured him when I said people that listen to the podcast and are in the record club should pretty much anyone who's on the podcast is fair game to be in the record club. So I think that's what listeners should expect. And me personally, I started getting music a long time ago, back in the CD days when you bought a CD. And then you found out later, because you heard one song on the radio, that was the only good song that was on the entire CD. So you were just out the money for the CD, and you had to wait until you found the next one to buy. So sometimes not every album's going to hit for everybody. Like last month, Little Low didn't really hit for me, but I wasn't in the mood for listening to it. So, it's going to vary for everyone. But this album, I've been listening to a lot of folk punk recently, which I wouldn't say this is quite folk punk, but it's getting close to it. And so I really like this album. I think I got the CD version in a package from Trev a while ago when he had extras from one of the other companies.
Yeah, when he did the show, I think when he did the show, I did some, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I got a poster too, so that's hanging up somewhere. And yeah, I had the CD and I loved it. So I was happy to get this on vinyl. I usually do some of the reviews song by song. I didn't do every single song, so I'm just going to hit the ones that kind of stood out to me. And I guess I'll start with, I think it was track 1, Praying for Rain. The song kind of stuck out a little bit. To me, it sounded like a song about loss or any kind of tragedy, and still finding a way through, finding a way to keep moving forward. And some of the lyrics kind of hit me in different ways. Initially, I was just digging the music, and then I started listening to it a little bit more, and he's talking about the red sky at night when everything's burning around him. And yeah, back in 2007 is about when I switched from CDs to records, because that's when I had a significant event in my life. When most of San Diego was on fire, I lost pretty much everything.
Jeez.
Fortunately, I had a bunch of my CDs in another place. And I just went through them because my daughter's she's 16 and she's getting into CDs. So I wanted to give her a bunch of them. And at that point is when I switched to vinyl and just started getting vinyl instead of CDs. And now a lot of digital on Bandcamp, of course. So yeah, that song, initially I enjoyed it. Still love it, but it brings back some bad memories for me because it was, I think the timing of it all, where I'm going through my CDs and then hearing about the fire and everything, praying for rain to help put it out. in Southern California. Yeah, it's a little bit different here. And it's not always pleasant. Today it was 95 degrees in November, at least inland. I work on the coast and it was only in the 70s. So it's much nicer there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of suffering. The next song that I really liked was Boomerang. And yeah, I know no lyrics included, but I tried to listen to it and write some of them down because this one also kind of struck a chord with me. It's hard to fit in when there's no one to talk to. It's hard to run away when you don't know where you are. I had, way back when I was still in high school, so, last century, literally, it's hard to fit in when there's no one to talk to. I had that feeling 30 years ago plus, where I'm in a San Diego, so I think 10, 11 million people, I think, something like that. And I still feel alone every day, which is kind of bizarre, but I'm also oddly okay with it most of the time. So, but yeah, Boomerang to me was a song that you just keep ending up back where you started, returning to your home or something like that. Where Boomerang, you just keep coming back. So that one, I started out in San Diego, moved to Northern California to go to college, and came back to San Diego. I've been here, I think 44 out of my 50 years.
Wow.
Didn't move here till I was 3. So, yeah. I also, the next song that kind of struck me was Bitter as Hell. Not from the lyrical standpoint of growing up like your father and becoming bitter as hell. I think I started that way on my own. And the lyrics, I think I might grow up and build a cabin in the mountains and be old and alone and bitter as hell. That's kind of where I'm heading right now. So that song definitely struck a chord with me. I'm trying not to be as bitter or as alone. I've actually met several people at the shows I've been going to recently. There's a couple I've seen about 5 times. And so we hang out at every show now, which is cool.
That's awesome.
And, yeah. So it's fun having a community, and I'm starting to be more outgoing finally.
Nice.
For the second
Very
half
nice.
of my life.
Hey, get it.
Dude, I remember you would text me when you're at a show and you're like, I'm going to go talk to him. I'm like, go talk to that artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Those were the 3 that really stood out to me. I'm not very religious, and one of the 2 of the songs kind of got into that feeling, and not my favorite. But I can still appreciate it's good songwriting, it's good music. It's a great album to listen to.
Nice.
Some of the songs just hit me stronger than others, which I think would be weird if it didn't.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say, I also like the cover art on it. And another band that does great covers, obviously Swingin' Utters and Johnny P. Bucks, everything he does. His drawing for the Belltones cover is also great. So,
Right on. Yeah, I will say like Boomerang and Bitter as Hell, those songs fucking just, they strike a chord in me too. So, yeah, I love them. So, cool. Well, that was a success. No,
There you go.
All right, so you guys staying in the club?
Yeah, I re-upped.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You did re-up, actually. You did re-up.
Yeah.
Dave, you sticking around?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Dave's here.
That's awesome, man. You guys did a great job. Thanks for
Hell yeah.
coming on with Chris and I for the last one with Chris, with me, with myself and Chris. But I think you guys are going to take the reins and run with it pretty well. I'm excited to see what you guys put out there. I'm excited to edit your work. I will add in sound effects if you want me to, Dave. When I'm, like how I used to read your reviews. If you want, I can throw
That'd be
those
great.
in there.
Yeah, nostalgia.
I mean, unless I provide them.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, true.
Case by case basis.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, and I think you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun working with you guys and doing this. And I appreciate you both wanting to take the reins. So
yeah.
Yeah. Let's promote stuff real quick. We got time for that. So, Dave, what are your books again, and where can people find them?
Pinball Punks and These Dark City Streets on Amazon.
On Amazon. All right. I just snagged two copies, or a copy of each. So, paperback. I got the paperbacks, not the Kindle. So,
Kindle's only like 99 cents for the Pinball Punks.
Yeah. So, all right, Ryan, what do you got?
Nothing.
No?
I've got nothing.
Right.
Next year, I might have something after I set up a wood shop again.
Heck yeah.
Ooh, okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'll say join the record club. That's a big one, guys.
Heck yeah.
Go to the
holidays are coming up, man. Buy somebody a gift. You might not be into the records, you might not be into punk, but you may know somebody who is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Head over to strugglingartistrecordclub.com and you can join today.
Heck yeah.
And you can join. Well, you'll have to join for December because I just paid for all the November records today. So you won't be getting that one. So strugglingartistrecordclub.com. Chris, what do you got?
Listen to 716thesound.com, internet radio, Western New York all the time, all Western New York all the time. We've got great artists out here, and just tune in at any point. You'll listen to, it's a mix right now playing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all Western New York all the time. 716thesound.com.
We've had some Western New York bands in the record club.
We have.
On the Cinder being one.
Yep.
That might have been the only one.
There's a lot of really good bands out here, a lot of good artists. And like I said, right now it's a mix of genres. So anytime you tune in, you could hear anything playing. But I'll have scheduled blocks of genres coming up here soon. And then somebody here might be hosting a radio show as well. So keep your ears open. 716thesound.com.
You guys will be hearing me in Western New York as well.
Hell yeah.
That'll be fun. Well, all right, Dave, Ryan, thank you again.
Thanks, dude.
I'm excited to see what direction you guys go with this. And I guess that's it. We'll talk to you guys.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
See you.
See you.